Today we're going through a free exercise to practice those beautiful rolled chords. So to get your free sheet music, click up in the cards or down in the description box. Make sure you download it, print it out, and then we'll go through the exercise together. Hi, I'm Christy Lynn from Learning the Harp, where we make learning to play the harp feel simple and doable. So if that sounds good to you, then make sure you subscribe because I'm putting up new videos every week to help you with your harp playing. This video is the second one in a series where we learn about rolled chords. So if you haven't done the first video, then make sure you do that first, because that's where I actually teach you how to play the rolled chords, and now we're just practicing them. So click up in the cards there and watch that other video first, and then come back here and I'll take you through the exercise. Our rolled chord exercise is called rolling on the waves, because when we learn to play rolled chords, I talked about this in the first video, about how we've got to think of it as a wave, just going from the bottom to the top of your chord. So it's kind of like playing a block chord, but you just slow it down and roll that wave from the bottom to the top. If you've already learned Sailing on a Lake, one of my other free pieces, then you'll notice that this rolling on the waves is very similar. We've just turned it into a rolling chord exercise. So to start out with, we're going to place our left hand 3-2-1 on C, E, and G below your middle C. Make sure the fingers are pointing down, the thumb is pointing up. You've got your nice triad shape there, which just means the C, E, G, where you skip a note in between. And then the right hand is going to also place C, E, G, 3-2-1 on middle C. And what we're going to be doing in the first half of this exercise is we roll the one hand, and then we roll the other hand, and then we move up to the next chord. So we first squeeze all the left hand fingers and roll them from the bottom to the top. Good. And then you do the same thing with the right hand. And remember, we're not judging the evenness of them right now. Right now, we just want to get the feeling of rolling that chord nice and quickly. And then we're going to move up to an F chord. So left hand 3-2-1 on F, A, C, and the right hand 3-2-1 on the F, A, C above middle C. Make sure that thumb is nice and high, fingers pointing down, your elbows are away from your body, your shoulders are nice and relaxed. And we're going to pluck those fingers down into the palm and the thumb all the way over. And make sure you squeeze your left hand and roll that chord. And then squeeze the right hand and roll that chord. Very good. And now we're going to do it on a G chord. So move all your fingers up one string. So we've got G, B, and D in the left hand. And then again, G, E, G, B, D in the right hand as well. So check that positioning, place all the fingers together in a good position, and then roll the left hand. Make sure it completely closes into your palm and floats off to release any tension. And then the right hand. Pluck those fingers down into the palm and float off. And then we're going to do one more F chord. So place all your fingers 3-2-1 landing together in a good position, and then squeeze and roll your left hand, and then squeeze and roll your right hand. And that's more than half the piece, because we're going to repeat that section many times over. So remember, it was just a C triad in each hand, an F triad in each hand, a G triad in each hand, and then another F one. C, F, G, F. And if you're finding that you're starting to place the fingers kind of one by one, oh, that's not good. You need to make sure that when you're placing, you're landing with all the fingers together and that there's not any sliding happening. You need to, let's put your fingers on that chord. Check that your hand position is good with your fingers down and your thumb up. And then come off the chord and try and land with your fingers landing in that good position. We don't want any sliding around. So if that's happening, just pause the video here and work on going on and off with your placing until you can land with them all together with no hesitation. So now let's try doing it with the timing, but only if you're ready. If you haven't quite got that yet, pause the video, rewind, and go through it all over again until you can get that pattern of the C in each hand, the F in each hand, the G triad in each hand, and the F triad in each hand. But now I'm going to show you what the timing is like. Each of these are going to be quarter notes. So I'm going to count a full measure, and then we come in on beat 1, and it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, And you may start to find that you're placing each hand separately, but make sure that your 3 fingers are still landing together. So place both hands on the C triad. I'm going to just say 3, 4, and then we come in on beat 1. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay, so pause here, go back and practice that over and over again with me counting along with you so you can get it in the right timing, but also making sure that you're never doing a shortcut about placing your fingers together. They really need to land simultaneously. And then also watch out that every time you're plucking all the way down into your palm to this nice closed hand with the straight fingers there, and you're floating off each time. That allows you to stay nice and relaxed, which is very important for rolled chords. And every now and then you can just pause and practice that wave that we talked about in the previous video to make sure you get that rolling wave from the bottom to the top. Now the second section of the piece is very similar. We're going to do an A triad, then G, then F, then G. And we also repeat that. So let's place both hands on this is the left hand 3, 2, 1 on A, C, that's middle C, and E, and then the right hand A, C, E, also 3, 2, 1. So make sure you've got a nice position, thumbs up, fingers pointing down, and we're going to roll the left hand, and then the right hand, and your left hand is then going to start placing on the G triad, and your right hand also, and then your left hand will roll, and it then starts getting ready to place on the F. Then the right hand rolls, and then it places on F, and the left hand rolls, and the right hand rolls, and then G, and G. So it was A, G, F, G. Let's try it again. Place both hands, roll the left hand, and the right hand, then on G, the right hand, and then on F, and the right hand, and then on G, and the right hand. Very good. And we can practice that with the timing too. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you start to get tense, put your harp down, shake everything out, shake those arms, roll those shoulders, do a bit of deep breathing in and out, and again in and out, and then practice those rolling waves from the bottom to the top with just closing your hands like that. There you go. And then give it a try again. To finish up the first half of the piece, we're going to do the beginning section again, where we did C, F, G, F, and we repeat that. So let's do that together. I'm going to count you in. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're ready for the ending of this first half. So we're going to end with a nice series of rolled C chords, C triads. So you're going to place both hands as if you were starting the piece all over again, and you roll your left hand. And then before you roll your right hand, you're going to start moving your left hand up to place it above the right hand on the next C, E, G. Then you play your right hand, and then you play your left hand, and before you play your left hand, your right hand starts moving up to the next C triad, and then your left hand will play, and then your right hand. So we're just doing 4 rolled C triads straight after each other. If your harp is not quite big enough, then you could just do and another lower one again, or maybe the lowest one. But let's try that with the counting. So I'm going to say 3, 4, and then we're going to do left hand crossing over, and then right hand crossing over for the very top one. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lovely ending. So you could end here. That could just be the ending of Rolling on the Waves for you. Maybe that's enough for now. But there is a second half to the sheet music, you'll notice, where we're going to start to have the rolled chords come almost like simultaneously with the left hand, and then the right hand starts straight afterwards. And that's also a great thing to practice, because that's when you really get those lush, big rolled chords. So it's the exact same structure of the piece. We still have our C, F, G, F, twice, and then the A minor, G, F, G for the second section, and then the C, F, G, F again at the end. But this time we do the rolled chord a little differently. So now we're going to place both hands, we're going to squeeze both hands, and as soon as your left hand finishes rolling, the right hand rolls straight afterwards. And you've got to try and make it sound like one continuous rolled chord. We don't want this. We want to try and get them to happen straight after each other. So you could take it a little slower to work on that. But the trick is to have both hands squeezed and ready, kind of like loaded, before you start the chord from the bottom, because then the right hand is ready to go as soon as the left hand ends. So let's place both hands, squeeze them, have them loaded, and then the left hand starts and the right hand straight afterwards, like that. Let's practice that a few times. Maybe take it a little slower. But you're still thinking of it just as a rolling wave, a wave going from the bottom to the top. Now to practice that, let's do it with the same structure of our chord progression that we did from the first half of the piece. So let's place both hands in our C triad, and we're going to play a nice long rolled chord of C. And then we're going to do it on F. And then on G. And then on F again. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that twice. So if you're not quite sure of that, just pause here, rewind, and practice that over and over a few times. But now I'm going to take you through it with the counting, and we're going to repeat that chord progression. So remember, it's coming twice. Place both hands on the C triads. I'm going to say 3, 4, and we come in on beat 1. And each of these long rolled chords count for 2 beats. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You ready for it? 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Keep on trying. You're not going to get it right away, or maybe you will if you're like super, super awesome, super amazing, out of the ordinary. But most people won't get it right away. You'll need to really put some practice in, and this is the perfect exercise to do that. You can also do the same thing with the minor section, the A minor, G, F, G. So let's try that. Roll both, kind of squeeze both hands and roll them both. And then G. And then F, squeeze, and then G, squeeze and roll. And then of course we'll repeat that. So pause here, practice that until you feel comfortable with how you're rolling it, or at least you're on the way there. We won't get it right away. And now we're going to do it with the timing. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we go back to the beginning chord progression with our C, F, G, F. And we're going to do that twice, of course. And then I'll show you the ending after that. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now comes the ending. So we're going to roll one long, nice C chord, just like we did in the beginning of this section. And then we place both hands at 2 octaves higher. So the left hand's going to be on these ones, and the right hand will be on these very high ones. And we roll those. So the ending goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's the end. Now, if you don't have enough strings to do that very top one up here, you could play here, and then just each hand goes up 1 octave. And that will be your ending. Well done for getting through Rolling on the Waves. I'm so proud of you. And I'm sure you need to keep on practicing. So if you haven't yet printed out your sheet music, it's up in the cards, down in the description box. And I'll see you in next week's video. Bye.